Hey guys, I'm Halsey and I'm going to be showing you guys some of my skincare and recreating the makeup look from my third album cover, Manic. I did that makeup look myself, so I'm really excited to show you guys how I did it. One of the first things that I'm going to be using is this Image Skincare face wash. It's my go-to. I literally order it online everywhere I am, and I take like 6 bottles with me if I'm going to a new country. So usually first thing in the morning, I try to use a more gentle cleanser because I'm not taking off all of my makeup from the night before. But when I'm getting off of stage and I have all that sweat and makeup and everything like deep in my pores, I'll try to wash my face like 2 or 3 times, to be honest with you. But I love how this feels on my skin. It's super moisturizing. The next thing I'm going to use is this Barber Sturm Hyaluronic Serum. I love hyaluronic acid. It's one of my favorite parts of my skincare routine. I'm really into glowy skin. I find that, you know, being a musician and being on red carpets a lot of the time, people really love a matte face, but I've always loved a really dewy skin, so, you know, the serums are a go-to for me. I'm using these glow drops from Barber Sturm. I really love these too. But when I'm on the road, sleeping on a bus and stuff like that, you're around like super dirty air and you're sweating in your makeup on stage every day, and sometimes you put on a face of makeup in the morning for your press, and then you add more makeup to it for your meet and greet, and you add more makeup to that for stage, and you just have these layers and layers and layers of gunk on your face. So it's the most important part for me when I'm on the road is making sure that I cleanse like 100,000 times. Like, I feel like the stock in Neutrogena makeup wipes has gone up because of me when I'm on tour. Barber Sturm Moisturizer is like my holy grail product. I literally put this on like 4 times a day. I use it twice on an airplane, once in the morning, once at night, once in the middle of the day. I'm like obsessed with it. Okay, I'm gonna start my makeup, and while I'm getting ready to put my primer on, I'm gonna use this Laneige lip mask. I've talked about this online like 100 times. It's my favorite beauty product, like my desert island beauty product for sure. It's supposed to be a mask, so I think you're supposed to sleep in it, but I just use it like a lip balm and reapply it like 100 times a day. Okay, the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime my skin, which is really important if you're wearing makeup all day long like I am, because, you know, I'm the kind of person who will sweat or wear my makeup away. I'm always touching my face. I'm super not cognizant of having makeup on, so I'm the kind of person who will be like, oh my god, that's so crazy, no way, and rub all of it off. So primer is my best friend. I'm gonna start with this Marc Jacobs primer. I'm gonna apply this with a brush. I like to just kind of paint it in like this. I always use my hand as a palette too. Before I was a musician, I was really set on going to art school after high school. A lot of people don't understand how alike painting and makeup are. I mean, a lot of it is knowing colors, understanding analogous colors, you know, using green to cancel out red, using yellows in your blues and purples, and being good with a brush, which is super important and an underrated beauty skill. After I put on my primer, I always move to my highlight. I use like 6 highlighters in my beauty routine. I use like a liquid, then I use another liquid over my foundation, and then I use 2 different powder highlighters. My fans are always asking me what highlight I use, and I never know how to answer them because the answer is I use 7 different ones, but right now I'm starting with this Dior one. So this one I'm going to apply with a beauty blender because it really gets it in there, because I'm going to be adding so many different layers. I start on the tops of my cheekbones and my brow bone, just anywhere that I want to draw the light. One of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten in my life is someone told me that they were seeing my show in an arena and they were in the section all the way to the top and they could still see my highlight. That was a good compliment. Okay, time for my favorite part, concealer. I'm gonna be using 2 Makeup Forever concealers. One's a little light, one's a little bit dark. I'm just gonna take a beauty blender and blend these 2 together on the back of my hand. So first thing I'm gonna go in is get rid of these guys because they're just staring at me. For my under eye, I'm gonna use a thicker concealer just because I'm suffering a little bit after this flight. I like a thick concealer for my under eye. I do, to be honest with you, when I can. One of my favorite products ever is actually this e.l.f. eyebrow palette. I've been using it for years. It's so amazing. The brow pomade is kind of shiny, which is really important because your eyebrow hairs are shiny and they catch light. So in order to make it look a little bit more realistic, I like that this has some shine in it. So I'm gonna just put this on an angle brush with a spoolie on the end. My brows are really sparse. I never waxed my brows or threaded them or anything in my whole life. They just grow like this. I don't know why. And of course, like big bushy eyebrows came into trend and I was like, ugh. If skinny wormy brows ever come back into fashion, I'm going to be just the it girl, I promise. One of the challenges about being a musician and doing your own makeup is that I find myself doing my makeup in some of the weirdest places, like in the back of planes and in the back of cars, and like with a flashlight under the table during a blackout at a music festival. True story. But we always find a way to make it work. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes with this decrepit old eyelash curler that I love and swear by, but one of my favorite new foundations is actually the Beauty Blender brand foundation. It's super awesome. It's like really great coverage, but it's not too matte. I also only use a little tiny bit of it when I'm using it. I gotta be careful around the freckles so that I don't completely get rid of them because they are an essential part of my face. Oh, I'm still so glowy, yes, nailed it. I'm actually gonna start using something kind of unconventional. This is a NYX lip cream, but when I was trying to find the perfect blue for the black eye for the album cover, this one was kind of the one that I loved the most. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this. It also is like gooey because it's a gloss, so it gives it this like dewy kind of look. When I was coming up with the concept for the album cover, the black eye, you know, was a really important part of it because, you know, I think a black eye is a universally recognized sign of pain or trauma or abuse. I feel like everyone recognizes the black eye in that way. And the album is a lot about me outgrowing some traumas and some things that have been otherwise holding me back from feeling like I could really become myself in my early 20s. I put out my first album when I was 19 and I was super confident and super arrogant and just thought that I was ready to take on the whole world. And then I went kind of backwards as I got into my 20s a little bit more. And being 25 and putting out an album was hard for me because I had a new perspective about my femininity, about my sexuality, about the things that I've been through, and as a result of that, what I felt like I earned the right to say, earned the right to stand up for as a woman. I had, you know, the space to say all of this on the album. So I did the black eye, and I wanted to do it in glitter, kind of to make it something, you know, almost like a badge of honor for what I had been through. And through the album cycle, the black eye goes from black glitter to red glitter to yellow glitter, which symbolizes the stages of healing that the bruise goes through. So hopefully in a year you guys will see me running around with a face full of yellow glitter instead. This is one of my favorite products. It's Kevyn Aucoin contour. I've used it literally to the pan. Like, it's a problem. But it's really one of my favorite products. It's my favorite because it's cool toned. A lot of contours are super warm, so they can make your face look orange, but this one is a cool tone, so it looks more like a natural shadow. Bronzer, Charlotte Tilbury. Some of my favorite beauty icons actually are really similar to my musical influences. One of them is David Bowie, because just the fearlessness is unmatched. Another one is Patti Smith, because she's just always really embraced her androgyny. I've always kind of fluctuated between a really androgynous and boyish look and like a hyper feminine glam look. There's kind of like two sides to me in that way. And I like having the polar opposite of both. Baby bit of blush. This is just a Sephora blush, just a little baby bit. I'm already pink enough. I don't really need that much more. Glossier Boy Brow, so good. One of my favorites. I don't really have very unruly brows, but they're super sparse, so I do need a little bit of gel to keep them up because they'll fall otherwise. Time for my favorite part and my least favorite part, which is the glitter. My favorite part, because you can never have too much glitter. I've always loved glitter. I've put it in weird places, like my eyebrows, my lips, my hair, for most of my career, but it's also the scariest part of your routine, because if you put it on and it gets everywhere, you're in serious trouble. So I need to focus right now. Just gonna tap a tiny bit of it into the cap. I'm gonna take this NYX glitter primer, which is a lifesaver, and just tap that onto the lid. The moment of truth. I'm being very careful. We made it through the glitter trial without any fallout, so I consider that a success. Part of being like a makeup risk taker, or just like a style risk taker in general, which is like what I hope to be and what I try to be, is that I'm willing to try anything. So I've shaved my head on photo shoots before, and I've bleached off my eyebrows for red carpets, and I've tried so many different makeup looks, but the problem is that sometimes that means there's ones that don't work out really well, and I have definitely my fair share of those. My fans are really amazing, and they love tagging me in them all the time to remind me of my makeup mishaps. So thank you guys for that. I'm trying to be more forward thinking and have the foresight to know what's gonna possibly go wrong in the future, but I don't let it stop me from trying stuff and having fun. So who knows, one day I might look back and go, a glitter black eye? Really, Ashley, really? In the album cover, I added like a little bit of this Anastasia white glitter, just because it's a little chunkier and I wanted to make it pop a little bit more. This is one of my favorite glitters. I use this on stage literally all the time. And I love it because it's kind of foolproof, because if it gets sort of messy in the light, it looks like it's supposed to be there. It just looks like really glamorous, dewy, expensive sweat. So it kind of works with my already sweaty face. I'm gonna add a little bit under here. Mascara. I always use 2 mascaras. That's a trick that I've learned. One to darken, one to lengthen, because I have really short eyelashes. So I start with this one, which is super goopy, super awesome, and really dark. One of my greater skills in life is learning how to put on mascara without needing to make an O face. Okay, my lengthening mascara. I like my eyes to look really open, so I usually only just do the tips of my bottom lashes. If it gets too close to the lash line, it closes them off a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna use Whirl by MAC, which is a classic. I feel like everybody loves this one. I'm gonna go over it with this Milani lipstick. You can get this at any drugstore. It's my favorite. It's Teddy Bear. Their lip liner Spice is also one of my favorites too, but this one's like a little, I usually go for like a more natural looking lip, but in the album cover I used something that was a little more like mauve and kind of dark, and I just like pat it in there a little bit. This one's really nice because it's kind of moist. It's not super matte. Everyone loves really matte like lip creams and lipsticks and long wear, and it's just not for me because I talk so much that I just eat it off the whole day. So I have to use more moisturizing lipsticks. And then make sure it doesn't get in my teeth. Okay, I'm gonna set my face with a little bit of powder before we move into lash. Too Faced, favorite powder. I wear this on stage. It is the real deal. Through 2 hours of sweat, dancing, hugging fans, kissing people on the cheek, rubbing faces. This is the real deal, I'm telling you. This is MAC Soft and Gentle. I've been using this since I was like 16 years old. It is an absolute classic, absolute go-to, and if they ever discontinue it, I'll be protesting outside of the offices. These are Ardell Wispies. They're the best lash of all time, and you can get them at any drugstore, and I have hundreds of them in my house. hundreds. I'm really guilty of taking my lashes off at night and forgetting I did it and then waking up and thinking there's a spider next to me, because when you take them off and stick them together, they look like a spider. And I've definitely scared the crap out of my boyfriend like a million times. I bend them into this shape because my eye is really round on the top, so this helps them stay in place a little bit better. Lash glue. Get this guy too. Yep, this is it. This is the luxury. I've done this so many times in my life. I've worn fake eyelashes almost every single day for the past couple years because I love them so much when I'm on tour and I'm on the road promoting and stuff. So I feel like I could put on lashes in the backseat of a car with no mirror. In the dark with one hand tied behind my back during a zombie apocalypse. Not kidding. Just drop them right into place. Wiggle them in. So I usually wait for it to dry a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll go in with my fingers and I'll squeeze them right onto my lash line as close as I can, and then press them up like that. Boom! There we go. Looking good. Oh, and my last step every time is I take my highlighter, just put a little bit on the tip, the bridge, and the sides of my nose to give it a little bit of height. Okay, and then time for my hair, which has been soaking wet in this towel for the whole time. Give it a little shake, brush the sides down. My hair is affected by so many different things. It could be a movie I watched, or someone I saw on the street, or just a mood that I'm generally having. I have this really bad habit of taking out my writer's block on my hair. So if I feel like I can't write something, or I've been feeling stuck in like a rut, I'll be like, I'll dye my hair. That'll give me all of the inspiration. And usually it does, actually. I find that I have different personalities, kind of. Okay, that sounds really dramatic, but I just have different like moods or modes depending on what my hair is like. You know, my step is a little lighter when I'm blonde, and I'm a little more confident when my hair's short and dark, and I feel a little more fun and a little more free when it's an unnatural color like blue or purple or pink or something like that. So it really all depends on that, but I've been trying to grow it out for years, and the one thing I'm finding is I just feel like me when it's short. Okay, so this is the final look, and this is the Manic album cover look. It's really cool seeing my fans recreate it, so hopefully someone learned something from this tutorial and they'll show me their version of it. I'm gonna go get dressed now, because I guess this is my makeup look for the day, because I kind of don't feel like taking it off, so I'm gonna go to the supermarket like this and see if anybody notices. Thanks for watching, guys.